Hello, my people. Welcome once again to A.O.S Global. Thank you so much for joining our live session. Really do appreciate everyone for coming on board. And today we have yet another wonderful episode that we are going to actually talk about. And this episode is centered on. Oh, okay. This episode is centered on Canada immigration relocation pathways for the year 2026, right? For the year 2026. You may be wondering that how I learned it in 2026. Why are we talking about Canada immigration for 2026? The reason is not far-fetched because for everyone that knows Canada immigration, Canada likes to plan well for the future, right? They like to tell us what is going to happen a little bit or give us some snippets of what they are going to do in terms of their planning, in terms of their execution. It's not like some other countries that I know that implementation is the problem. It's not that there's no law, there's no rule and regulation, there's nothing to follow. But most times in some other countries they don't follow it, right? But today we want to discuss how Canada has planned 2026 and how they are going to try to work on it. Sometimes you may plan some things like just like all these New Year resolutions people have. You may have New Year resolutions, but if you plan it and you work towards it, you can achieve it. It may not be exactly the way you actually feel it's going to be, but at least there will be a sizable amount of achievement you are going to get through the New Year resolutions, right? So Canada similarly is just like that. Ever since I've known Canada for about 5 to 6 years now, they have always been given some plans that they are going to do. Sometimes they get to change the plans later on, but at least they follow through with many of their plans before they actually kind of change their course of direction during the year. So today, I think our discussion today can really let us know what is Canada planning. Do you understand? And what have they said on the live? What have they said on their news articles? What have they said on their policies? What have they said? You understand? Together in meetings with stakeholders. What have they really discussed? And basically, today we are going to be discussing that in relation to the new what? The new year Canada immigration pathways. Many times Canada always hard up to their programs. So that's why many times you don't have an excuse if you want to come to Canada to say, you don't know or you don't think you qualify for Canada immigration. No, many people qualify. The only thing is that a lot of people may be following one pathway, but that pathway may not be the one that you qualify for. For example, many people want to come to Canada through study visa, right? Through study visa. Now, study visa is divided into four different levels, four different parts. For those of you that have not actually learned how you can come to Canada through study or through any pathway whatsoever in Canada, you can click on the link in our bio, the aosglobal.org. You understand? And for those who also want to benefit from us working with them, the Cyber Week offer is still currently available, so you can get it before the end of the week because it ends this week. The Cyber Week offer ends this week. After this week, it's gone. But if you want to learn about immigration, you want to learn the different pathways you have available to you, you can click on that link again, aosglobal.org. You would see the Travel Small Small to Canada package. Click on that package. You understand? Put down your details, fill the form. There's an eligibility form there that you have to fill. Fill the form. Once you fill the form, we are going to now be able to look into your own particular case and assist you. But even on that website again, you can see our video. Our free video is there where you can watch how or what you need to know about Canada immigration, the pathways you can be eligible for when it relates to Canada immigration. So once you watch and read that, you can even download. There's a free document that is also there for people to download. From there, you can use to learn what you need to know about Canadian immigration. Do you understand? Especially for this year. But for next year now, Canada is going to be launching, relaunching, and introducing new Canadian immigration pathways, especially for those like me who want to come and stay in Canada permanently. So maybe I should ask you, do you want to come to stay in Canada permanently? Do you want to like jackpot totally, jackpot permanently, fully, and not even look back? Well, if that is you, then you have to listen to this because today we are going to be talking around making use of the article the article published on cicnews.com website, which is centered on the topic, the new pathways to permanent residence coming to Canada in 20 what? In 2026. So we are in 2025, as many of you know. But next year, there's a whole lot of changes. There are a lot of changes Canada are going to be doing to their immigration. Some would be for the positive, and some sadly may be for the other one, for the negative. You understand? But still, there is cause to rejoice. There is cause to see that yes, even if one is not working in your favor, that does not mean everything is now against you. Do you understand? Not everything about Canadian immigration is against you. In fact, if they close one program, many a times another program gets to open. You understand? So one shut door does not mean that all the doors are shut. There are several doors you can still use to come into Canada. You understand? There are several pathways you can still use to come into Canada. Canada is basically every day expecting immigrants. They are looking for immigrants. I always use one analogy when I talk about this. I say, take for example, Nigeria, where I came from. You understand? Nigeria, we have about 300 million, you understand, inhabitants, 300 million population. Canada just has 40 million population. You understand? And Nigeria is no way out of 1/4 or 1/5 of the land mass of Canada. What do we mean by that? If this is Nigeria in terms of population, I mean, sorry, in terms of land mass, in terms of how big Nigeria is. Now, this is Canada. Canada is these five fingers. You understand? So you see that Canada is bigger than Nigeria in terms of space. But Nigeria is like this in terms of what? Population. We're as many as this. But Canada is just as many as this one finger. This one finger. So it shows that there is still a lot of space. Still a lot of space for a lot of people to come into Canada. Let me give you an example. Canada is bigger than US. For you to understand what I'm trying to say, Canada is the second biggest country, the second largest country in the world. You understand? After, is it Russia? Yes, I think Russia. After Russia. But look at, in North America, we have Mexico, we have US, and we have what? Canada. Let's forget about Mexico. Talk about US. US has over how many people? 200 and something million people, right? But the amount of people in Canada is like divided by 5 of that. Divided by 5. We are just 40 million in Canada. So it shows to inform you that even though Canada is bigger than the US, Canada does not have half or 1/3 or 1/4 of the population of US. So it shows that Canada can never be full by just bringing 20,000 people, 100,000 people. They need millions of, in fact, tens of millions of people, in fact 100 million people before they can be enough. Big Babs, thank you for liking our live session. So it shows that no matter how you say it, even if they restrict you for one program, they do not accept you. For some people that they what they call it, they deny their visa or they reject their visa, that does not mean that you cannot still apply. I've once talked about one of our clients, Mr. Yemi, that applied. In fact, he applied to US, he got denied. He applied to Canada, he got denied. You understand? It was like, I think the third time, I mean the fourth time, he was able to come into Canada. And as they say, the rest is history. The rest is story. Now he's in Canada and he's even bringing his family to Canada, and the man's enjoying his life. After how many rejection? 3 rejections. So I always tell people, if you don't give up, you understand? If you don't give up, if you don't feel that it has handled, they have denied me 2 times, 3 times. If you don't give up, it may still be your calling. You know, and we have seen a lot of people that, in fact, people that just got Canadian immigration once, they did not see the value of it. So because of that, when they came here, they did not value, they did not use it judiciously. You may be wondering, how do I mean? Yes, they did not use it judiciously because many of them, people that did it 3 times, 4 times, when they now land in the country, they will succeed more than those that just did it one time, because those ones don't know how difficult it was for them to. So at the end of the day, you see that it is not how fast, but how well. It is not how fast that you get it most times, but how you are able to use it when you get it. Do you understand? And that's the value of the thing. They say if you don't stress for some things, you won't value it. It's just like Yahoo. People that are going to go and do Yahoo, when they get the money, what do? They blow it now. They blow it anyhow because it was so easy to get. They didn't work too much for it. It was not their hard-earned money. But you, if it is your hard-earned immigration, your hard-earned travel, even after times of denial, times of refusal, some people that even ban them. Omo, they ban you is not the end of life. Oh. It's not end of Canadian immigration journey. We have seen people that they ban 5 years, they should not apply. They after the 5 years, they apply, they pick them. Do you understand? So it's not that, oh, you got denied one time, because you got denied, that is not the end. In fact, I always tell people, once you lose hope and you just forget, especially if you know that, okay, yes, you can succeed. I'm not talking about people that are low, that are rich people. In fact, many of the rich people say they don't always stress to get visa most times than our own two. It's people that don't have money. It's the small tools that always get issues with their visa. So most times, the reason why you started working on your immigration is because you want a better life. Don't let that zeal of better life, don't lose the zeal of better life because you got denied 2 3 times. Because many people will get denied 2 3 times, but the fourth time they do it, or the third time they do it, well, I've even seen people that did it 5 times before they got approved. You understand? Those ones are, there's one of our clients, she worked on it herself, she used her family member, she used her friend. Yes, before she later came to us to work on their immigration. Her and her husband now, with her children now, they already wanted to, like, the woman first came through study, the husband and the children are already getting their permanent residency through the woman now to come into Canada. Do you understand? But assuming she did it 3 times, 4 times, and she was demoralized, demotivated, that this thing is just too kini jaye, I'm not doing it again, I'm not doing kini. That fourth time or the fifth time that she did it, she wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to get a permanent residency, even though she came through study first before she now applied for permanent residency. What am I saying in essence? What I'm saying in essence is, it is never over until you give up. It is when you give up that, in fact, most times life self can give up on you too. So don't give up. If you don't want to give up, if you still want to try, because most people, as I said, some people that even do it 3 4 times before they get it. Most people, some of them, ìkara ló máa fi ń faṣẹ́. They use ìbínú and what, and japa. So when they come here, most of them, they set up businesses. Many of them, they do 2 3 jobs. They make it faster than someone that just got it on a platter of gold. It's the truth. Some people don't understand this thing. I remember when I was in Nigeria that time, I did exam like 3 times. English fail, 3 times French fail. But when I later got it, the binu that I say, okay, oh, I was use and get this thing. I spent 6.7 million naira on my own immigration. But I always tell people, within 4 months of landing in this country, 3 to 4 months of landing in this country, all the things that I spent 5 years to get, you understand, 5 years to spend, 5 years to do failing, passing, within 3 to 4 months of landing in the country, we made it and more. You understand? We made that amount. So it is not about, see, you just getting, some people will just write IELTS once, they will fail. And they say, idiots àwọn people yẹn jàre, Canada, wọ́n kàn gbá wa ní, wọ́n kàn pé kí. I say, see, well, anything you say, you are right. I will never tell someone that what you are saying is wrong. You are right. But the truth is, wọ́n gbá yàn, wọ́n gbá everything, if everybody is coming to Canada, there won't be value in it. It's the truth. It will just be like some voted. Anybody can enter anyhow. So the value will not be there. And they are trying to keep the value of their country. They are trying to preserve the integrity of their country. So it is not everybody every time they will pick. It's the truth. It's not everybody every time they will pick the best of the best. Just like you too. Especially people, I remember we set up one job offer online. It's on LinkedIn now. We too, we don't want to collect mediocre in our job, in our company. We want people that value, people that have sense, people that can grow the company to actually come into the company. So just like you too, you will not want to give birth now. You not say you want to just get any riffraff child, even though no child is riffraff. But you don't want to just get. You will not, if you even give birth to anyhow child safe. You feel they beef the best for the child safe and the best for God. You understand what I'm trying to say? So in essence, you too, you want the best. Because you want the best, the country of Canada too wants the best. It's simple. You understand? You too, that you are looking for greener pasture, coming to a new country to actually seek greener pasture. Nigeria pay you, now you no stay there. You understand? Now you no stay there. So in order to come to a better country, in order to come to a developed country, you have to do more than the average person will do, so that the average person not getting the immigration, you will get it because you are more than average. I don't know, maybe I'm talking. And there's some people, sadly, they come into this country, but because they can't still measure apart to the level of immigration, they still get to be deported. It's even that one that is even painful pass. You understand? Na that one painful pass. But in essence, what we are trying to tell you is work on your immigration. And don't be discouraged because of one failure, two failures. The person that fails in life, forget even about only immigration, not only immigration, the person that fails in life is the person that give up. If you give up, it is you that really fail. Person wey be say 2 times 3 times he was struggling before he got it, those people have not yet failed. They are, in fact, they are succeeding because they are finding out ways with their failure how not to do immigration. You understand? Someone, for instance, that did visitor visa that got denied 2 times, I say, omo, that thing be like say the thing no pure, let me do study. You understand? At least he has found out ways that, okay, oh, this visitor visa may not be the best way for me, oh, let me do study. Abi someone that do study and say, okay, let me come through visit first, or someone that say, okay, I've even been denied for visit and study, let me do PR. You understand? He is not giving up, rather he's finding out ways how he can't actually come to Canada, and developing ways or going through other ways that he can now use to what, get his desire, which is basically to move to Canada. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So don't give up halfway. That's the lesson. Because if you give up halfway, in fact, I always tell people, what will your children say about you in the future? You understand? Do you want to be part of those fathers that you'll be telling your children, well, Canada, those people, they fail me. I mean, oh, they reject my visa, they do this. So because of that, you did not give your children greener pasture. Because of that, you did not help your children to get better opportunities in life. Because of that, they will look at you as a parent that like to give excuse. Especially Nigerians. I know a lot of people in Nigeria. Excuse Nekura. In fact, double excuse, more than excuse, over excuse. If you don't want to come to Canada, it's not people like you are talking to. If you are making it in Nigeria or you are making it in your home country, that, oh boy, now millions of dollars. Even it's just that sadly, funny enough, even people that is even making millions of naira, yes, tens of millions of naira, I still see them in Canada. I would not be asking that, but you are doing well in Nigeria now. Why do you come to Canada and say, oh, that country, no be country? Sometimes you fit get money, but still dey suffer. I say, how come? Is it everything? Kidnapping dey, you understand? Insecurity dey. They say, okay, genocide even dey Nigeria now. Abi, thank God say us we no even dey there that time. You understand? Many things dey that will affect the sanity and the wealth of the rich people. Do you understand? So sometimes it may not be money that they don't have in the country. It may be their sanity. It may be their security. It may be something that money at the end of the day. Either you buy half of it, but most times cannot buy complete of it. Because you cannot buy so many security, and at the end of the day, even security sef, dey fit vex wey be say they go even plan against you, say this one just get money, dey waste for security, make we collect your money. You understand? So at the end of the day, you may not be safe totally in that kind of, you understand, location, in that kind of what, country. So that's why many people, when we talk to them, they will say they still want to come to Canada. When we talk to them, they will still say, omo, even with their money, maybe it's better they should be going to that country for vacation. You understand? So that they will still be close to their roots. They go there for vacation, but when they go there for vacation, they come back to this country to live, to reside permanently. And that is what we are going to talk about in essence today. How you can come into Canada permanently through the what? Through the new programs that Canada is actually bringing up for the year 2026. Because let me tell you, people that will achieve their immigration next year, they have started planning it this year. Just like Canada too are planning the people that they will bring into the country. The same people that they want to bring into the country have already started looking that, okay, what are the pathways, what are the programs Canada is doing? They are strategizing, they are analyzing. You understand? Not those people that are are doing analysis paralysis o, that they go over analyze analysis sef go tire analysis. The people that know that okay, this is the pathway that they are talking about, let me pursue it. This is the path, let me work on. They don't delay. Not that people that are still thinking okay, if I do this, how much is the total cost? If I see, most times you don't whine yourself. Don't whine yourself. Most times all of us that do immigration, most times we don't always know the exact amount that we spend at the end of the day. Is the truth. If you are still expecting that someone say give me the full package, give me the kini, you are still whining yourself, you are still not serious. You are still, is an objection for you not to take action. It is an excuse for you to still be, you understand, dulling yourself. Because even people that say okay, this is the exact cost I want to spend, this is the kini, most times either you spend more than it or less than it. That one does not mean you should not have budget. Have budget. You understand. In fact, we always ask people when we're talking to them, what's their budget? But don't be keen on, you want to know every penny that you spend before you start. It is a way on a pattern for you to just give excuse and not start, because you will never get it to the last penny before you start. It is when you start that you, there are a lot of things that you spend, a lot of things that you think of, and the ones that you not think of. So just know the basics, know the one that you need to get started and pursue it. What you are meant to have in your, you understand, memory is your target, what you are aiming to achieve, what you are aiming to, because if you know the cost, when people know the cost at the end of the day, but that cost cripples them from taking action. The cost, total cost, it cripples them from taking action. And many of their friends, many of their colleagues, those are the people that will come back when they now see their friends going just like one of our clients that say, oh boy, you know, when I was coming to Canada, people were insulting me. I mean, when he was working on his immigration, people were insulting him that he work on phone àwọn Canada lówó ni. Ó kàn you are just British council, you are just paying them for IELTS. You are just doing this, you are just doing that. Imagine. The person, he said that they were just abusing him, both his family, his friends. They were just telling him that he's wasting money, that he should give them money now. He should. When is immigration now work? When Canada now gave him visa, when he now landed in Canada, those same people that were telling him that he was wasting his time, but don't even send me any, what they call it, broadcast again about Canada immigration. Don't tell me anything about Canada. Those same people, those same people that were telling him, yeah, you're wasting money, you are doing this, you do not, keep your money, don't waste it, don't be giving Canada. Those same, they were not the ones that were not reaching out back to him to now say, báwo ló ṣe wá ṣe? But how do you not do it? How do you do it? But them say they want to do that. I say, hey. So me now, if for example that person has listened to the so-called family members or the so-called friends that were telling him that time, wey you are wasting money, you are Canada is not that you are just delaying yourself. Yeah. If that person listened to all those naysayers, will he and his family be able to come to Canada? Will he and his family be looked upon now as someone that people now want to relate with and now say, okay, how do you not do it? Oh yeah, come and help me. Now help me. I say, help me, help me. So you feel ask for help now. You that they did not tell you to help them, they were, he was writing exam, failing. He was doing things, people were telling him he was wasting money. So now you now want help from someone that you were thinking that no have sense, someone that was wasting money down the drain, someone that but most times when people see before and after, is that before and after they always change their perspective. When they see when he was in Nigeria, as well, neck open. In dey Canada now, e fresh, the picture don different. So that's what many people will now sit down and say, okay, let them now start to be talking to him back and be asking, help me, help me, help me, help me. If you, as we always say in this channel, if you want help, everyone help those who help themselves. The ways to actually get help is to help yourself first. We have talked about even how the Bible, how the Quran even say, help yourself first. Help yourself first. And how will you help yourself? Click on the link, aosglobal.org. If you look at that link, it shows you how to actually get started on your immigration, all what you need to do, and the information you need to get ready about your immigration. See, let me tell you something. You can either, some people will say, I know how to go about it, I know how to. We're in the social media age now. In fact, we're in the AI age now. If social media sef no pay you, you say okay, social media you are not sure of what they are saying there, put it on ChatGPT. ChatGPT will tell you what's up. Do you understand? You have no excuse now, because if you want better life, you don't need to be, you understand? You don't need to be waiting for someone to tell you what is right. Okay, someone can guide you through the process. So, okay, after you have known what you want to do, some people you'll be asking them, okay, what do you want to do? What, like, which pathway do you want to use to come to Canada? They say, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, you may not know, but what have you done to actually know? What have you done? Some people always join our life to ask questions. Have you also been asking questions? Wọ́n sọ pé ẹni tó bá béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ ló fẹ́ di ẹ̀gbọ́. You understand? You have not been asking questions and you say you do not know. Number one. Number two, you have not been doing your own research and you say you do not know. Oluwaseyi, thank you for okay, hello, hi. Thank you for liking our live session. You understand? You did not do research and you say you do not know. You did not talk to people that have already done it like you and you say you did not know. Okay, you say help me, help me, help me, help me. How are you helping yourself? Are you learning what you need to know about Canadian immigration? Are you ready emotionally, financially, psychologically? Because some people don't know. Immigration is another life entirely. Oh. In fact, coming into the country is another job. As always say, working on your immigration to Canada is a job on its own. So you have to be determined, you have to be psychological about it. That are you ready to take up that, you understand, job, that duty, that goal? If you are not ready, you are just, see, people can't help you when you are not ready to help yourself. And if they help you most times sef, those are the people that will say they scam me, they scam. It's because you too, you are not willing to help yourself, so you were an easy target for scam. You were an easy target for what? For scam. It's the truth. Someone that wants to work on their immigration, at least even if you give another person to work on your immigration, know what it is about. That's what we always tell people. We educate people. Learn about immigration yourself first. Learn what Canadian immigration is all about. You understand? So that when you are now trying to select who to work with, if one person is not telling you another thing different from what you have researched, you say, this one over scamming. You will not fall for it. Before you fall for it, you have already caught that person in the act. You understand? You have caught the person in the act. So you will not waste your time, waste your money, waste your effort with that kind of person. Right? But because it is, you are informed already, it is not about thinking of luck. Some people say luck. Yes, immigration is not an 100% thing. That's another thing people like lie about. The Iraq pattern is what they always look for. They say, I'm looking for one that is 100%. I say, okay, be whining yourself. Be whining yourself. The 100% you are looking for, that's what some people will tell you, and at the end of the day, they'll still scam you. On top of it, just like one person that they said they arrested. He was the person, they say he was promising people job, Canadian job. Not to thank you for liking our live session. He was promising people Canadian job, Canadian job. But because people don't do research on their own, they don't browse. They don't, okay, they don't even listen to what other people have done before. When I was coming to Canada, I didn't even have money to spend. I now have millions to spend. You know, so as an Ijebu boy, as an Ijebu boy, I didn't have the money. And even if I have the money, I may not have spent it sef for another person to do it. You understand? But that was why I had to go online, browse. Google is your friend. In fact, now ChatGPT is your friend, is your phone, is your paddy. You understand? It's your party. So browse some things. Don't be like those people that they said that the agent now got arrested because he promised people job. He was collecting people money. And I was not asking those people that, how do you know that people always get job in Canada? They don't even know. Which website did they always use? Did you ask that person question, how is going to get job for you? He said no. He say, he shall promise me. So you always promise. Keep on. Well done. Oluwase, he says, I'm interested very seriously. Okay, if you are interested, one of the ways, as we have put it on our channel, as we have put it on our background, click on that link, aosglobal.org, O-R-G, aosglobal.org. You see the travel small to Canada package there. Click on that package. Do you understand? Click on that package. Once you click on that package, the first thing is your eligibility. Is free to fill form. You're not paying anything for form. It's free to fill form. Fill the form. We're not going to look into the pathways that are available for the year 2026. Are you eligible for any of them? That's why you have to fill the form so that we will know about you will know what maybe it is only you that is coming or you with your family, maybe it is family of two, family of three, family of four. You understand? The educational credentials you have, are you educated? If you are not educated, do you have experience? Have you been working before? Those are the things we want to know about through that form. If you do not fill the form, we can't know. We are not the kind of person that will just say go and bring 200k, go and bring That's why many people again like that travel agent we had, they will scam them because they don't even know if you're eligible for the program or not. Canadian immigration has various programs, and we have to first find out the exact program you are qualified for. If you don't know the exact program you are qualified for or the series of programs that you can apply for, it's as if you're just, you understand, throwing money in the drain. You are wasting money. Do you understand? So first find that. That's why we say fill the form on aosglobal.org. Once you fill the form, one of our team members will reach out to you, whether through WhatsApp, through email. They will reach out to you, and from there they can be able to tell you the one you qualified for, the one you can actually pursue, and how you can be, you understand, eligible to for Canadian immigration, right? So as we said, today we want to discuss. What do we want to discuss? We want to discuss the Canada immigration pathways for the year 2026. You understand? The Canada immigration pathways for the year 2026. And the article we are going to be making use of to talk about this is the article written by Janice Rodriguez, which is centered on the new pathways to permanent residence coming to Canada in 2026. And the article we got is from ticnews.com website, the website that, as I do say, is very, very um, okay when it comes to use finding out the facts, not the fabu. You understand? The facts and the truth about Canadian immigration. You know, here people don't like to read. They don't like to read. There's one adage that they say: if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book, and they will never find it. It's for people that always read book. I read that see book. But now, if you want to hide something from the Nigerian African man, put it in article, blog article, news article, kó lè kà, kó lè kà, ijó ló máa wo lórí TikTok, kó lè kà, they can't read it. Is dance, they will be looking for a TikTok. Ijo, that's why our own mission is to educate you by reading it to you. What many people will not take time to read themselves, we now have that time. We dedicated our own time to read it, so that you not say they not tell you, they not tell you, they tell you, see that you not listen. You understand? They tell you. Yeah, every time we are online live, you understand, at least in a week we come on at least once, sometimes three times, four times, to read things to you, so that you should not say they not tell you, say no, you should not hear, you should not far balẹ̀. So if they scam you, you know that it is not that it is you that allow yourself to be scammed. As me I always tell people, don't fault people, because there's something that I always ask when people say I was scammed. I say, did that person control your decision? Does that person have the right to control your decision? Because the question is, can you control the decisions of others? You can't control the decisions of others. So the way you can't control this decision, why they not give you obe on your neck? Or for say along, say okay, don't know, you must do it. Or not also. So the way they will talk, they can never force you, especially someone that you did not see. Or even if you see, you go to the person office, the person will not shall say don't know, pay money or less, you die. They did not say that. You understand? So you have the liberty to actually do research on your own, to find out if the person is saying the truth or the person is giving fabu. You understand? If the person is giving you fabu, you'll be more educated and you know that okay, this one you not go through that route. Right? So today we said Canada is set to introduce several new pathways to permanent residence PR in the upcoming year, the year 2026. 2025. In fact, December don't come. Before you know now, maybe we are still in, today is third now. Before you know now, we'll say we're on the 30th and the 31st of December. Before you know now, the year has finished. The year has finished. Some people will now be doing new resolution that they will not follow. They'll be doing new year resolution if the people follow it, even good. But many people will not follow it. They'll just do, well, whether you do it or not, Listen to what Canada has in stock for you if you are serious enough for your immigration. In 2026, the federal government of Canada says that it will prioritize in Canada applicants through various pathways and programs that aim to transition temporary residents to what? To permanent residents. That's why we are telling people that don't gawk it, don't dull it. If you can come into Canada as a visitor, come. If you can come into Canada as a student, come. You can come into Canada as a worker, temporary foreign worker, come. You, any which way, ṣáà rápálá wọlé náà. You understand? Rápálá wọlé náà because tó bá wọlé, èèyàn tó wọlé ló máa tún máa jà pé okay, báwo lòun ṣe máa dúró permanently. Ìwọ tó bá tiẹ̀ tí wọlé, you that have not enter first. It may be difficult for you to now look at what they said. They said those that are inside Canada already, but they are not permanent residents like us. Those that are just inside, whether as students, as workers, they will try to transition them. They will try to like help them to switch their visa from temporary residence or residency to what? To permanent residency. So when you are inside, at least you have done 50% of the work for being inside. It may now be even easier for you to switch to PR than someone that is not even in Canada. So that's the number one thing. But moreover, 2026 will see the reopening of intake periods for some pathways and immigration streams that closed in the year 2025 after meeting their cap. Now, what does this mean? It means that even though Canada will be focusing on those that are inside Canada for permanent residency, you have to understand that it is not in all cases. It is not in all situations because some people will feel that àwọn Canadians àbí àwọn tó wà Canada resident of Canada ló ń mú nísìn. See, note, it is not that they will only pick people in Canada. Even people outside of Canada will still get their visas. The only thing is that those that will get it now are those that are really in demand. Those that have things to show for it, documents, very good things to show for it. You understand? Ashavin 3848. Hi, hello, how you doing? So Canada is still looking for people. Canada is still bringing people in. The only thing is that they have reduced the amount of people they are bringing. But even that reduction, hundreds of thousands of people are still getting selected, even with that reduction. So you have to now look at it. How can you come and be qualified for immigration and not be part of those that will be telling story that they did not pick you. Meanwhile, they can pick you, but it's you that you are gawking it. You understand? So the idea is don't gawk it. Okay, but let's continue. Now, what we're saying in essence is this. Here is a look. Let's look at all the permanent residency pathways that Canada is expected to launch in the year 2026. The temporary resident to permanent resident pathway, TR to PR pathway. In the Immigration Levels Plan 2026 to 2028, the federal government of Canada announced plans to accelerate the transition of up to 33,000 temporary work permit holders to permanent residents over the year 2026 and 2027. Thank you, Olasunkanmi, for liking our live session. What are we saying in essence? What we are saying is that if you are in Canada already working temporarily, they can help you. Canada is willing to help you to switch your visa from temporary foreign worker permit to permanent residency within next year and after next year, 2027. They said this initiative will target workers who have established strong roots in their communities. Have you really been very useful in the community you are? Those that have been paying taxes, have you been paying taxes to the government of Canada as a worker and are contributing to the Canadian economy? Because see, everybody wants to actually see, life is give and take. If you are not willing to give Canada, Canada cannot. If you are not willing to give Canada, you cannot take from Canada. The country wants people that can pay taxes. It wants people that are responsible enough to work, and it wants people that will be instrumental in building its economy. So are you and it's not by mouth, but yes, mo lè ṣiṣẹ́ gan, I'm working, I'm doing this, you know, those things that all those ones that say, please help me, I can do anything, I can work anything. Canada is not a dumping ground. You understand? It's not a dumping ground for anybody. It's not a dumping ground for people that will do anything. You have to be specific, because you do anything here, at the end of the day you are doing nothing. If you are, is there anything you are doing at the end of it, it's not. You have to be specific. Which skill do you have that is in demand? Yes, Olasukomi say good evening. Good evening, bro. How are you doing? Which skill do you have that is in demand? There's tech skill there. Do you have it? There's health care. In fact, a lot of people have health care. Even people that do not even do experience for this shall join put health care. Sorry, I wanna ask if they give out sponsorships. If you qualify for sponsorship, they will give you now. You understand? You be applying for jobs. You keep on applying for jobs. It's just like school. People that are looking for scholarship too. You apply to school. You apply to scholarship boards. If you qualify, because not everybody that's what we are saying. If you don't have the skills that warrant a job sponsorship, you won't get it. Because I can do anything, I can do anything. Yeah, they are looking for people that have skills that are money making. People, you have to think like the company that want to give you job. Are you useful? Do you have 21st century skill? You understand? It's not ayé ìgbọ̀hún skill where I can drive, or I can prick food. Even though, yes, agric too is in demand, though, is in demand. Don't mind, don't mistake me. But there are a lot of people they can choose from. So most times they may not even want to choose people that are far from other countries. People that are in the country again that are doing farm, they may pick those people before you. You understand? People that are maybe in Mexico, or people that are in, they may pick them before you, because at least the journey of those ones to come to Canada is faster than you that you are in Africa. You understand? So you have to have a better skill than the normal people two skills. A better skill that is a general skill that anybody can just have. Because if anybody have those skills, you are not special. So why do they need to give you the job and not give another person the job that is very close? The person that, because people are looking for sponsorship because they don't want to pay money, but they want good life. You understand? They want good life, but they don't want to pay the price. You understand? And because you want good life, you don't want to pay the price. That's why many people now, there's a pandemic in Canada. People don't know they are trafficking human beings. They are exploiting females. You understand? They are exploiting. In fact, if you read, even if you don't want to read, watch the House of Commons, which is like the House of Representatives. You understand? Some of their debates. If you look at the debate of Honorable Mitchell, you understand, when she was talking about the House of Commons, she's saying it that they are raping people in Canada anyhow. They are, some people think maybe it's only in Africa that some of these issues is happening. It's also happening in these countries too. But most times, if you look at those people that are falling victim of rape, falling victim of work exploitation, falling victim of human trafficking, falling victim of slavery, contemporary slavery, many people are those that are looking for sponsorship. Many of them, because they know that you don't want to give anything, you don't want to pay any money. So instead of you paying with your money, you pay with your body. That is it. So they always collect it another way. So if you are not willing to pay with your body again, wahala. And most times in those kind of, you don't even have option, because you that they could have collect your passport, which if you that are looking for just for, they will collect your right. So you will be forced to do it even if you don't want to do it. But me, I always look. That's why we are educating people here. Don't fall for it and you now be saying they did not tell you, you did not know. Now you are knowing. You understand? Now we are telling you. So if you still not go and look for it and you not get it and you not say, okay, at least you have known that that was what you were signing up for. Because Canada too, US too, UK too, there's job exploitation, there's slavery. So if it's just like people that were being shipped. There was one documentary I was watching about how they were doing slavery. You understand? 19 bobo. And they said they were taking people inside the ship. That person was explaining it on YouTube. That they were taking them inside the ship. Those people that were going did not pay anything. You paid with your freedom. You paid the cheap money with your freedom. You understand? So that time they were putting people in chains. You understand? They were putting people in chains and taking people to Europe, taking them to America, taking them. But now it's people that are not putting themselves in chains. Themselves, no, come and carry me. No, please, I'm here. It's sponsorship I want to. Some people, even scholarship, you get a scholarship where they give people, maybe say they use the. Let me just forget that, because some people will think maybe I don't have beef for those things. If you are qualified for it and you can go, no, as they always say, go in a way. But if you cannot go and Akpoli and you can't be look for something that is too good to be true deal, too good to be true deal, na you go see o. Okay, Dami Louis is saying, boss, good evening, sir. Good evening, ma o. Abi sir Deni. I got one message I wan show you, sir. Okay, if you want to show us your message. We really appreciate. Let's see if we can decipher the message. So, my people, what we are saying in essence is Canada immigration. They want to bring in people, even as they want to switch people from temporary residency to permanent residency. They said in the year 2021, IRCC introduced a limited time temporary resident to permanent resident pathway. It hit its cap on the same day it launched. See, now what are they saying in essence? They say even if you are in Canada, there are a lot of people, there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in Canada that want to switch their visa from temporary resident to permanent resident. So just like that day, I mean that year in 2021, when they announced that okay, they want to help some temporary residents to become permanent residents, the slots that are available may fill up that same day. It's just like caregiver rule. It may fill up that same day. So that is not the only program they are going to do for the whole year, because they know that it is so limited. The kind of slots that they are going to give people is so limited. 3,000 people is not much. It's not much. So the details and the eligibility, they say details on how the federal government of Canada plans to implement this accelerated transition are yet to be announced. For details on the documentation that you want to keep ready for this upcoming pathway, you have to actually read on the website. That's number one pathway. Number two pathway they are talking about that they will use to bring in people to Canada next year, 2026, is through the accelerated pathway for H1B holders. That means those that are in America. Now look at it. That's what I'm telling you now. H1B visa is for many skilled professionals that are working in the US. People that have something to give, people that are in the healthcare, engineering, people. It's not anybody that is say I can just do anything. It's not those people that are just looking for okay, let me just go and be you have to have a better skill. Anybody can be picking fruit. Anybody can be what they call, and the truth is, whether you like it or not, the quota of all those picking fruit are always very small. It's not as much, because they know that if they allow everybody to come in through fruit picking or through, they will not have skilled workers that are very useful to do better things. So whether you like it or not, sponsorship cannot be as much for those kind of things per year. Okay. They say in the 2025 federal budget, the Canadian government signaled plans to launch a new accelerated pathway to permanent residence for holders of US H1B visas. This upcoming program is designed to attract high-skilled professionals in key sectors. Now they say key sectors. It's not even agriculture. I never say agriculture there. What are the key sectors? Such as technology. Are you good in IT? Are you like a cyber security analyst? Are you like a web developer? Are you a graphic designer? Are you a social software engineer? Those are the kind of things that is going to show that yes, even getting sponsorship for this kind of thing, you have something to offer. You're not just someone that they will just go and sell to slave trade, or someone that they will just go and exploit the person body, because you don't have anything that is tangible, that is a better skill than picking fruit or driving. Okay. Technology, healthcare, research, those are the ones that they are looking for, that are going to be part of what Canada's strategy to boost innovation. There is no innovation in food picking. There is no innovation in you driving car. In fact, now there's a automated car now. The car is driving themselves. AI is taking over. So what do you have again apart from those little to skill? Officials have indicated the pathway will launch in the coming months, though no specific dates or detailed criteria have yet been announced. This move builds on a successful 2023 pilot that offered 3-year open work permit to H1B visa holders, a program that reached its 10,000 application cap within days due to overwhelming demand. Now, what are they telling you in essence? Even all those ones that are very much in demand, they feel fast. So don't gawk when you are still thinking. Some people are still thinking analysis paralysis. Some people are overthinking. Wait, should I do this? Should I do this? When other people are already applying, you are gawking. That's why at the end of the day, 2026 will come. The people that will get it will get it. The people that are still thinking will continue thinking until the upper year. The thinkers, the thinkers will be thinking. They will not take action when they are meant to take action. Okay. Now, what are the details and eligibility? They say while the federal government of Canada has not shared specific details on the upcoming pathway as of the time of writing this article, having a US H-1B visa will likely be a prerequisite to apply. Now, we are coming to all these other pathways. PR pathway for construction workers. If you are into construction, you also have an opportunity. In March 2025, IRCC announced it would admit up to 14,000 foreign national construction workers to Canada. Now, the details on whether they will be admitted under permanent resident or temporary resident or a combination thereof pathways haven't been given. So they are not sure about the construction. So if you are a construction laborer, you are a construction supervisor, you understand, you are an installer, you may stand a very good chance in this. Out of this, the then Immigration Minister Mark Miller stated that up to 6,000 immigration spaces would be reserved for undocumented construction workers already in Canada. Now, that's what we're telling you. Even if the skill that you have is nothing to write home about, sometimes being in Canada is better than being outside of Canada. So sometimes, are you already in Canada as a student? Some people are even learning construction, not only normal construction like brick construction in Nigeria. You can learn better construction. That's why we're talking about skills, vocational training schools. Have you gone to vocational training schools in Canada to advance your skill? You understand? You can get a job in Canada and be doing job whilst you are waiting for that opportunity to get PR through construction work. This initiative was launched to support Canada's construction sector, which has faced persistent labor shortages in the midst of a housing supply shortage. So why are they bringing construction workers? Because there have been a supply shortage. Time ti tó. Time ẹ̀wọ̀n náà jẹ́ ká kírun. Now, the government has not yet released, of course, the government of Canada has not yet released the details on when this program will begin or this eligibility criteria for applicants as of now. So we don't know when they will start the PR for construction worker or construction worker job. But what we know in essence right now is that it is added to the pipeline. Ṣàlọ́lá sìn, ìpè tó bá ṣàlọ́lá ẹ̀ máa dé nísìn máa wá ṣe tèmi náà. So the stream for agriculture and fish processing, that's the next pathway. You know, we have talked about 3 pathways. We talked about what? Number 1, TR to PR pathway, right? Number 2, we talked about what? The H-1B visa holders pathway. Number 3, we talked about the construction worker. The 4th one is what? Stream for agriculture and fish processing. What are they saying? They say in the 2025 to 2026 department plan, IRCC reviewed plans to create a sector-specific stream for foreign workers in agriculture and fish processing. This new stream, as I said, would expand partner country agreements, streamlining the hiring of workers in these sectors. And at the time of the announcement, IRCC also noted that it was developing this stream in collaboration with Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, with a goal to launch in the year 2025 to 2026. And the program, as they said, will include a corresponding sector-specific work permit. Details on eligibility have yet been, you understand, disclosed. What are they saying in essence is that those that will come in through agriculture is going to be a sector-specific. You understand? So you will only be able to work in the agricultural sector. So people that are thinking that, okay, they use agriculture to enter, you are going to really be able to work in the agricultural sector. You will not be able to work in other sectors legally. Do you understand? Now, replacement pathways to the economic mobility pathways pilot. That's the 5th pathway you can use to come to Canada. They said the federal government of Canada is also expected to create a new permanent pathway to PR to replace the existing economic mobility pathways pilots, the right? Now I said the EMPP is a program that helps skilled refugees and displaced people looking to work in Canada, skilled, the skills they have, while also allowing Canadian employers to tap into a new labor pool. Now, they said, according to IRCC's 2025 to 2026 department plan, the permanent program was expected to launch before the current EMPP pilot expires on December 31st, 2025. But detailed eligibility rules and program features have not yet been announced or released. So, which means that this may launch in 2026 instead. And in the most recent immigration levels plan, the federal government of Canada announced that it will be implementing a one-time initiative to streamline the transition to permanent residence for about 115,000 protected persons who are already in the country. Again, that's why you have to be in the country for some of you that may qualify for this. While it is not certain, this transition could be under the upcoming what economic mobility program pathway. Now, since its inception, a total of 970 people have been admitted to Canada through the EMPP. Not very much. 970 is even less than 1,000. It's not very much. You understand? So, according to the most recent government data, 2019 to May 2025, the program is currently no longer accepting new applications for its federal EMPP job offer and no job offer streams. Details and eligibility. The new pathway is expected to have criteria similar to those of the what? Those of the EMPP. Now, to be eligible for the EMPP, one must be able to prove their status as a refugee or a displaced person. And they may have to meet additional criteria related to work experience, education, and language skill. Now, reopening of the intake for existing pathways. There are some pathways that have existed before, like the caregiver pathway, the home care worker immigration pilot. If you remember, in March 2025, IRCC launched the two pilot programs, which through which home care workers with job offers can gain what permanent residency. And we had the home care worker immigration pilot for childcare and the home care worker immigration pilot for what? Home support. Now, each pathway has two application streams for workers inside Canada and for applicants not working in Canada, right? So in 2025, both pilots accepted 2,750 applications. That's not a lot, but this was accepted for each, and it reached the cap within the day of the launching, that same day. A limited number of these spaces were reserved for out-of-status home care workers in Canada. While the stream for workers inside Canada opened and reached its cap in a day, the stream for applicants not working in Canada never opened, but is now labeled as closed on IRCC's page. So it is expected that IRCC will reopen the applicants working in Canada streams of this pilot in the year 2026. And again, what was the eligibility and the details? Applicants must have an eligible full-time job offer in Canada to qualify for this pilot. And in addition, applicants must meet certain criteria like language proficiency, Canada language benchmark, CLB4 higher, education, secondary school diploma or higher, work experience, 6 months work experience. And of course, you can find the full eligibility criteria on their website. Now, the Rural Community Immigration Pilot and the Francophone Community Immigration Pilot, FCIP, these both programs, FCIP and RCIP, are pilot programs launched in 2025 to help employers what in rural communities outside Quebec to address labor shortages. Now, these pathways are for skilled foreign workers with in-demand skills who wish to live and settle in these communities permanently. Now, both the RCIP and the FCIP are employer-led pathways, and they require a job offer for a candidate to be eligible. Candidates must also meet other eligibility criteria regarding education, work experience, language proficiency, and settlement funds. So for the FCIP, candidates also need to prove what their French language proficiency. While these pathways have not closed, 2026 may see new employer designation and priority sectors and occupations being announced by participating communities. So details and eligibility. Applicants need to have a qualifying job offer in a priority occupation and sector as chosen by the what? By the community they intend to settle in. And apart from this, they need to meet other criteria like number one, work experience. They need to have at least 1 year of or 1,560 hours of related work experience in the past 3 years or have graduated from an eligible post-secondary school in the community. And two, they need to have language proficiency, meet the English or the French language proficiency requirement. For the RCIP, it ranges between the language benchmark 4 to 6, depending on the job offers NOC code, attested to by valid language test results for the past 2 years. And for the FCIP, applicants must display French language ability equivalent to a niveau de compétence linguistique canadien NCLC level 5 in all language ability and education Canadian secondary school diploma or post-secondary certificate and diploma or degree or foreign equivalent. And lastly, settlement funds. They must have enough money to support themselves and their families through the what settlement process. And the amount of settlement funds needed can also be viewed on the website. So with that, we come to the end of all the programs that we are expecting to launch or to actually be opened for the year 2026. If you have any questions, kindly drop it on the comment section before we call it a day. And if not, then thank you so much. Don't forget every time we come on live at least once. So we would always come on live any other day to discuss more trending topics as we see them. And we do hope you have a nice day ahead. Thank you so much and bye for now, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and click on our link, aosglobal.org, to actually to fill the form and let's get started on your Canadian immigration process with our partners. Thank you so much and bye for now, everyone.